This is Banging on the Drum. It is another beautiful day in West Central Wisconsin, and welcome to episode 148 of Banging on the Drum. Please remember to go out there, like, subscribe, download, share with your friends. Like I said, we're getting super duper good at this, so we're about to blow up. So get on the train right now, and you'll be good to go. But as always, I am your host, P-Dog, joined alongside our other host, M-Dog. And M-Dog, how are you doing today?
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Jump into kind of what we got going down. We're going to do overs and unders. We're going to do just the tip of the week, Pat's observation of the week, Badger breakdown, and then we're going to break down the Bucks. So we'll get into all our Wisconsin sports at the end here. And right off the jump, we're going to jump into Pat's under.
Okay, so the under that I wrote on here doesn't even exist anymore. So I actually ended up turning that into an over. I ended up getting off work way earlier. So I was running a half marathon on Saturday, and I was projected to work till 11 o'clock, which probably wouldn't get me home and in bed till at least midnight. And we had friends coming to town, so I was going to miss out on hanging out with them a little bit. But anyways, a couple flights got canceled, and it was super nice. Got home reasonable time, hung out with them. So that turned into an over. So I guess my under was, after running the half marathon, how bad my ass hurt. Like, yeah, guys with hairy butts don't do well in half marathons, I don't think. Or I just need to figure out that. I should have been smarter. Last time I ran a real long ways, I knew I should have used more baby powder than I did. I don't even think I used any. And I've been suffering from that. And that's my under, is I've been walking like a cowboy in chaps for 2 days now. So yeah.
Because you were chafing.
Oh, real bad. Real bad. Like it almost stopped me. My legs.
All right.
So yeah, when I was running, it was going pretty good. 8 miles into it, keeping my pace, keeping what I wanted to keep. And yeah, then the 8 mile mark hit, and it was a big uphill thing. And I started to come back to reality. Then the whole from 8 miles on out. So for the final 5 miles, just a brutal fight. Really tested the heart right there. But it was just my legs and my feet hurting. My legs, feet, and chafing was hurting. Like I didn't like my cardiovascular, like my lungs and shit felt just fine. But the rest of my body was like getting ready to give out on me.
Yeah. Do you wear good shoes? I know I've run into like just atrocious shoes in the past.
Oh yeah. I drop money on running shoes now. So yeah, my shoes, I think right now are Brooks. And they're like the newest Brooks on the market. And then also I have like the Fleet Feet brand of cushions you put into your shoes. So like kind of like Dr. Scholl's type shit that I put in there. And then I wear really nice socks. But they were getting old. I think if I put brand new pairs of socks on, they would have had still some of like the cushion that I really needed.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But I mean, I didn't get any blisters, so I must have like trained pretty good for it. So, but I guess though that'll lead right to my over, is like we had friends come into town to run this. So we had our buddy Don coming to town, and he's a fucking beast, like fastest guy I know. And then he brought his friend that he ran in college with. So that dude was super cool. And I mean, pretty fast. He hadn't been training a lot. Apparently he was one of the faster ones in college, but he just has been like let it go and then just been getting back into it. But he still crushed it. I think he was running like 7-minute miles for the whole thing. And yeah, there was a lot of good stuff that happened though. So yeah, like I finished well. My wife finished very well. I finished in under 2 hours, which I think was kind of my goal I stated on here. I think I finished in an hour and 56 minutes, something like that.
What's that pace?
Do you know? I think it was 8:47, something like that. So I was trying to
pretty good.
Yeah, trying to do under 9-minute miles. But the biggest over was our buddy Don won the race, and he set the course record while running that race. Granted, the race is only like 6 years old.
Okay, I'm still very impressed. Right, like that's very good. Is it a race in town or is it a race on base?
It was in Nashville. So like
in Nashville. Wait, so this is
that's what
Nashville?
That's what I'm saying.
Right, it's one thing to set the wood turtle trot, right? Like that's course record on there. Like, but setting it in a major city is unbelievable.
Yeah. So
however old it is, like to win that race at all is super impressive.
It was funny to us. So I was looking at some of the stuff, and I don't know how the course record came up in conversation or like in what I was looking at, but I was looking at it and it was an hour and 20 minutes. And I'll be on Strava, a place you like document your runs and stuff. And Don is also on Strava. So I'll like creep on his run sometimes because it's insane to me like how far he runs in a week. And then also like how fast. Like it'll just be like it's his like form of social media. Like he doesn't have any social media. So you can tell it's like like we enjoy Twitter, he enjoys Strava, and he'll
Yeah,
like
he's
put
from
this.
Nashville, right? Or Asheville?
No,
Not Nashville, Asheville.
he's from Maine and lived in a lot in West Florida, and
And
then
now he
yeah,
lives in Nashville. All right, yeah, yeah, it makes sense. He doesn't like Twitter, but he likes running apps.
yeah. I mean, it's on brand for sure. But yeah, he'll just put on like, oh, a nice little warm up, and it'll be like 5 miles at like a 6 minute pace, 6 minute
Yeah.
mile pace. Um, but yeah, I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, so I seen the record, and then I've seen Don's runs, and I text Don and I was like, dude, I think you have a shot to like break this course record, like because I seen he ran a half marathon while he was training, because he's currently training for a marathon,
Okay.
uh, and it was like 2 minutes off of it. So that was just like a workout he did. That was 2 minutes off of what the course record was, and so yeah, I hit him up and I was like, I'm pretty sure, dude, if you want to, you can get this record. And he fucking dusted it. So the course record was 120 and he ran it in 116. So he beat it by four. I
Four
think he
minutes,
ran
which
it in
is
114. I think he beat it by 6 minutes. He basically beat the next person by a mile. Like literally, not figuratively like a mile, but
yeah. I
the
mean,
next.
so like the only guy who's running, I mean, even a marathon or a half marathon paces under 6 minutes is probably like the Olympians, right?
No, I think they are disgusting. They run marathons at under 5 minute mile paces. So
Okay.
so I think there's a level. Like he's definitely not there. I think he would need to. I would
That's
love
not what
to.
I'm saying. Like, but like everybody who's in that race is running 6 minute miles, right?
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I didn't realize how hard it was to qualify for the Boston Marathon too. Because those guys, if you're running the Boston Marathon, there's other ways in other than just like qualifying on your merits. Like you can like get sponsored or something. I don't know all the weird stuff, but like whatever, you can get like a guest spot or something like that. But to actually qualify for it and not have to like get in like for by charity or however you would want to say it, you need to run a marathon. And I want to say it's 2.5 hours, which I want to say is damn near a 6 minute mile pace. Um,
For which one is that for?
if you want to qualify for the Boston Marathon.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I thought you just had to run a freaking marathon that was like, this is a prelim to the Boston Marathon. But no, you got to actually
Yeah.
like go out there and crush it in that. But very cool weekend. It was super cool to see because it was a down and back. And when I was running down, I think at like the 6 mile mark, I seen Don come through like he was just fucking flying. And he's like got this like gel that those runners take, and he's like ripping the pack off and like so, like just so efficient. He said he messed it up and spilled it all over him, but it didn't look like that to me. Like I was like, he looked like a true like champion, like doing that. And then that got me like super excited. So that made me start running faster. I was like,
And
which
that's why
messed
you started chafing.
yeah, that's me up a little bit. But yeah, that's all I got for the weekend. It was pretty cool. And then I mean we had a bunch of fun after the race, so that was cool.
Did they recognize him at all, like for setting the record, or like for? I mean, how
So
did they? Is it just, oh, here's your medal, you got first?
yeah, it was pretty much that.
Yeah.
So you can look it up on the website. So if you go to like whatever, I forget what it was called. It was the St. Patty's Day Marathon in Nashville, and I mean his name's first on the list of all the all the people. So that's pretty cool. I guess you can just pull that up on your phone and be like, I won a race with like over 300 people in it, and uh, they gave him a medal. And it selfishly, and I think he was kind of happy about it too, is they didn't have like an award ceremony at the end or anything like that. But if they did, I was thinking this when we were sitting around. Like, I was like, are they gonna like? Because I was down for it. I was like, yeah, dude, I'll wait and watch you walk across the stage and grab like a trophy or whatever they're gonna give you. But that being said, though, I was like, most of us finished right around 2 hours. My wife finished in like 2 hours and a minute. So she was just right behind me, and I'm pretty sure there's probably people out there taking 3.5, 4 hours to finish. So we would have been sitting around there
Oh yeah.
for like an
Yeah.
hour and a half before everybody finished. So he just got a slip and took it over to a guy and he got a medal. But it was pretty sweet. He was like too humble about it. I would have been talking shit. But
You didn't get a finisher's medal or nothing like that?
oh, did I get a finisher's medal, Mike?
Oh, look, he's got it. He's bringing it up. All
You
right.
want me to wear it through the whole episode?
No, I was just wondering, like, because, but he got a different medal.
Yeah, his was gold.
Nice.
So, and it said first place on it.
It wasn't like a pot of gold for the St. Patrick's Day thing or nothing. Like some
Actually,
shamrocks and a rainbow.
I'm a little disappointed because I do got a picture of him like holding it, but he never let me touch it. So he was afraid I was going to steal it, I think.
He should have.
I know. And then I could
Snoop
have
Dogg, baby.
hung that up in my house. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, maybe he's proud of it, and so maybe you shouldn't steal that one out.
No, I'd be proud of it. He didn't act very proud of it, but like, uh, but he's just a humble dude. Like you'd be like, dude, you did really good. And he's like, fitness is relative. I'm like, no, dork. You just like take some compliments, man. You just dusted a field in Nashville. With like you said, it's not like he won the
Yeah,
Brookwood.
Yeah, the Brooklyn
5K or
River
something.
Trot or whatever the fuck it is. Like that's very impressive. And like the way I look at things, it's very impressive, right? So
Yeah, because we have ran one in Fort Walton, a 5K, not a half marathon, and he dusted everybody there. And I still thought that was like pretty cool, but like I was like, all right, yeah. He was like, yeah, not many good runners showed up to this thing. And the second place guy was like 60 years old. So like it was
no,
pretty,
yeah, I get that.
but this one,
Like,
like,
does he go do like big runs all over the place, or
so he runs a shit ton in Nashville or in Asheville. Um, and he's he probably doesn't wouldn't like me even talking about him, but he's going up to Duluth to do a qualifier for Boston,
okay?
and his goal is to qualify for Boston and run the Boston Marathon. I don't know if it would be this year. It's basically next. I think it's next year's Boston Marathon. So he wants to be in next year's Boston Marathon. It's kind of his goal.
Yeah, that's a good goal. Very good goal. I like
Yeah,
it.
it was pretty amazing. It was pretty inspiring. I gotta like hone into a skill that I can put some time into and get some like gratification off of because his work, he's been working like a madman.
Yeah,
Because when I lived by him, it wasn't like this. And like he was still a great runner, but now he's in the Asheville community, and that's I would assume that's
Albany.
one of the best running communities in the country. And
Oh,
now
interesting.
yeah, now he's got. I mean, I could be completely wrong about that, but he definitely has guys that he runs with on a regular basis that are faster than him. We're in Fort Walton Beach. He would just like sympathy run with me and my wife. Like he would like
Yeah, like he's
pace
like,
us to do
let's
like a
go.
like an 840 mile. Like towards the end, I was starting to be like, dude, you got to stop just running my pace. I was like, warm up with me for like a mile or two or whatever, but then
You
go
should
do
have
your
beat him a
thing.
couple times, like just like because your kick at the end is pretty ridiculous.
I can't. He knows it. Like, no, dude, that's what I've thought too. Is like I'm like, I'm not a fast person, but like you think you could like trick somebody in a way to like beat them. But if I do that, he can close on me in like 2 seconds. Like one time we were running at a
Okay.
track and I tried to do that to him, and he just like it like glided past me. It was like it's insane. It was like a different level of speed.
Yeah. All right, I'll jump into my under. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and I didn't know if I wanted to take my kid to like like one of the last wrestling tournaments in this area for. And I was like, I got till 8 o'clock. Like I can make a decision later. So I'm like, all right, it's like 6:55. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I walk downstairs, I do something, take 10 minutes or whatever. It's just after 7. It closed at 7, and I was like, my goal was to register him for this thing, and I was gonna do it at 7:05 or whatever. Couldn't do it. Had closed at 7. I thought it closed at 8. So
Oh
I kind of
boy.
like just shit down my leg on that one. So my son didn't seem to care, right? Like we did some other stuff on Saturday, but like he didn't like I didn't tell him. He didn't ask me about it on Saturday, like, are we going or anything like that. So it was okay, but like I felt like I failed him. So kind of is what it is because I did fail him. That's
Yeah,
on
you
me.
did.
Right.
You're a shitty
Uh
dad. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
So but also on Saturday I had to attend a wake,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So buddy of mine from when we grew up, right? So he's a grade below me, but in Wilton, like there's a couple grades between you. It's not really the end of the world. His old man passed away last week, and so
Oh
attended a
boy.
wake, which is always shitty, right? Like, and then like I'm like probably like the softest person on the planet. I can't deal with that stuff at all, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a
then I feel
good
like a
that's a
wuss
good
every
thing.
time I go to a wake because
I
I'm like
don't I
tearing up
don't
and shit.
I don't see that as weakness. I don't personally. Like I don't think that that's
I feel like people in society are like, there's like, not that this is a guy that I didn't know, like, so like coached one of my flag football teams was like for every sporting event, like that him and his son and I would be in together. Like he was around, like coaching stuff, talking to us, like, and I was pretty good friends for at least a few years with Adam. So and like just but like I think people in society are like, I don't get it. Like, why would this guy be tearing up over this shit? But like, I don't. Yeah, I'm just soft. I
no,
just
I think there's a lot of reasons why, but uh yeah, no, I mean just like if you can actually empathize and put yourself in somebody's shoes, like I feel like that's a real strength. And I feel like you have a decent ability to be able to do stuff like that. So I think that's what comes off as soft, but I think it's actually emotional intelligence is what it actually is. I don't know. I think that's
I'll
what it
take
is.
that and I'll try to like bend that into my thinking a little bit, but I don't know that
Yeah.
that's accurate, right? And so I'll jump into my over. So my hood rats had a nice little sleepover, so they had a really like just like chill night with the wife, and then uh morning as well. So like just till like lunchtime, no kids around, just relaxing day. I'm trying to think if I don't know that most of anybody that listens to it like understands how like nice that is, right? I
I
feel like I'm on the top end of the like listener age that we have. I could be wrong about that, but
no, I think if they don't know now, they're gonna know soon. And I think most
yeah, yeah.
if Oh,
They'll get it someday.
I
Right?
think they know already. I think I'm like the last. Like I am one that doesn't fully understand that. Where I think
Oh,
people
it's a
listening,
beautiful thing to just have like 5 hours without your kids, right? So
yeah,
like almost a full day, probably 18 hours. No,
I would say 90% of our listeners have kids.
okay, yeah. So no rats for about 18 hours is kind of perfect. They all stayed at their uncle's house. So, and then I am probably within like 100 pages of finishing the book Dune, and then I'm going to watch the movie. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think I
Nice.
can watch 1 and 2 from the same book if the internet is not lying to me. So
So have you seen? So you're getting pretty excited for doing two?
Dune 2. Yeah. Yeah. I've been reading the book and I'm right there. It'll be done this week. Pretty sure, unless everything falls apart.
Nice, nice. All right, you got anything else from your week? Are you ready to give the people what they've been waiting for?
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
tip.
Let's give them the tip of the week. So as you wake up, grab your phone, play your favorite video game or whatever type of game you like to play. Maybe not video game isn't the right word, but like brain teaser or whatever. It's going to kick your brain right into motion, like right out the jump. So you should jump right onto your phone the minute you wake up. I think get your brain like working.
Where'd you get this one from? Because it seems counterintuitive to everything I've ever heard.
From the internet.
Well,
So I think like it'll activate your brain right away in the morning, right? Like get you
okay.
thinking about things and going.
Maybe I'll start doing my Portuguese like immediately in the morning. It's kind of set up in a game format.
Yeah, there you go. Give it a shot for the week. I think it's a good one. Like if you're doing things that are engaging to your brain, right? Don't get up and get on fucking Twitter. Like
Yeah,
do something that makes your brain work.
there we go. Mike is out here saving the
I
world.
will never follow my own advice. All I ever do is wake up, grab a cup of coffee, and get on Twitter. It's my first
No,
move all the time.
do it this week, Mike. It's discipline. We're becoming
Discipline week.
we're becoming a disciplined podcast, kind of. We have a
I
lot more
know.
done. We have a lot more done than we usually do before we hop on whatever 15 minutes before we start rolling. So
Yeah.
we're disciplined.
So
All right.
that's just the tip.
Yep. So Mike's giving everybody his tip. Love it. All right, Mike, you ready for my observations here?
I am.
So this one might be kind of sad, but I feel like as an adult, it is odd to have a hobby that you don't get ready for by crushing a couple beers. So I was like super excited. Like I said, I got off work earlier than I expected to. And my body was just telling me like, oh yeah, let's go home and drink some beers with my friends that just came to town, even though we had a marathon the next morning. And yeah, maybe it's just me, but I don't have many hobbies other than things that I want to drink before I go do. Like
All right.
go
So
watch a
what do you
Packer
do
game.
for hobby? Yeah. So Packer games. So that's I guess that's I can consider a hobby. And you're gonna drink, and then like another one would be like golf.
Drink.
And you're
Yeah.
gonna drink. You're gonna drink at the very least while you're playing golf. If it's not before you play golf.
Yeah.
What else do you do that you feel like is a drinking sport?
That's like
Drinking
everything.
hobby.
That's everything I do. Drink, then you drink before you drink.
Yeah. I think I wish I could drink before I would like watch
As I
youth
drink.
sports.
This is what I'm saying. This is
Like
another
I
observation.
feel like oh, is that not, oh yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to dig into that.
No,
But like
that's a good
that is
transition.
yeah. So go with your second one.
So my second observation that tailed this observation is I think dads who drink at youth sporting events are badasses. I don't see anything wrong with it. I enjoy watching a dad watching his kid play baseball with a cooler next to his thing or his lawn chair, cracking a cold one, watching some little league baseball. I'm on board with that. I think that guy's cool.
Yeah, so I think I wish I could, right? So I think those dads are actually terrible human beings for the most part. For the most part, like there's a possibility they don't drive places after that, I guess. But you probably are, and that's what makes you the bad human being is that you're willing to imbibe in more than you probably should, and then go driving around or drive your kids around. Like
Yeah.
maybe driving around isn't that big a deal, but like driving your kids around is a problem.
Yeah, no, driving around is a problem in itself. But yeah, you throw the kids
Yeah.
in there, and then that's a real big problem. But
Right. So I do
think-
have like a positive to this. So coming up, high school baseball and softball will be across the street from my house, probably for the next, I bet you at least 20 years. So I probably can start drinking, like and watching my. So like this year, I could probably just grab like a 6-pack, walk across the thing, and go watch my nieces play softball.
I like it.
I don't know what they would think about that. They might be embarrassed about that shit. I'm not sure, but I could do it because I got no place to drive.
Yeah, I think you should become that guy. I think that guy's super cool. I don't recall it much too, and I'm pretty sure like kids, maybe in high school, I could have like started picking it up that like some of the dads were drinking in the stands, but I really don't think we had much of an issue with it. Like I do think it's a very frowned upon thing, probably for good reason. So I was kind of joking.
Wish you had like drank before? So you were a baseball player. Do you wish you had started drinking like before you played?
not at all. I wish I didn't drink when I did drink, basically. Like I wish drinking didn't take such precedence in my life at such a young age. Like
Okay,
I think if I could do it again, I wouldn't have started drinking as early as I did, which was 21, right on the dot.
right on the dot. I mean,
Yeah.
even I won't like lie that much. Come on, man. Like, and I could like mine was like 20, and then
Yeah.
like 8 months. It was like September.
Yeah. And then my last observation that I got here, I've been working crafting this for a long time. So I'm a pretty big snob when it comes to public restrooms. I will say if I'm a snob about anything or a critic about anything, that's what I would be a critic about. So I'm trying to come up with an app. And my buddy who won the race, I think knows how to make an app. I'm pretty sure he could make an app. So we were coming up with ideas. So this is patent, don't steal it. So our app is going to be called Shit or Miss.
Should have
And
missed. Okay.
and it's just going to rate bathrooms. Mostly, it's going to start out just being along road trips, and then it's going to expand to all the
I
bathrooms.
think I
It's
think
going
you
to be
could
a
do
Yelp,
this.
Yelp for
Okay, I was gonna
bathrooms.
say like if you just make it Yelp, you're gonna be like you can make it pretty big pretty quick. Like it could be everywhere.
Yeah, maybe we'll do
Uh,
shit or miss and try to get Yelp to buy us to put it into the Yelp. So there's a subcategory in Yelp for
do they have subcategories in Yelp currently?
I don't know. I'm not a big Yelp user, but
So Yelp might steal you right away. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
so
how you make a Yelp app. Like really, like it would just be identifying the restaurant
yeah,
and then ranking it 1 through 5 stars for the bathroom, right? Or identifying the bathroom and then ranking it 1 through 5 stars.
yeah. I mean, it'd be pretty simple. Um, I could write reports. Maybe that would be my new full time job. Is just scoping out public restrooms. I'll do it.
That sounds like you would get a disease of some sort.
Probably.
I'm just saying, like it seems like it. Like if you're just like walking in every public restroom, you walk into 30 public restrooms every day. I feel like you might catch something.
Or I would just have the best immune system in the whole entire world.
Yeah, that's true. But there's some things that the immune system can't fight, right?
Eh, I'll figure it out. My immune system will figure it out.
Yeah,
And if
you'll evolve. I like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah, just get a lot of tetanus shots down the road, so I'll be good to go.
yeah, and the military will probably offer those to you for free, so you're all good.
Yep, good to go. So
You do have a
bulletproof.
lot of shots in your system already, I bet.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, I don't even know all the shots that I have, but I know a good penicillin shot. It hurts like a bitch, but it'll take care of a lot of stuff. The good old peanut butter shot. Put a
Peanut butter shot.
put
Interesting. Does
a
it look
ball
like
in your
peanut
back
butter?
pocket. Yeah, I don't know why they call it that. I think it is because like you get a shot in your ass when you're in basic, and it's a pretty big shot. Like you get the shot, and then you have to walk out like arm by arm with somebody so they don't fall down. Uh, and
Okay.
I don't know. I do not like shots, and I was petrified of this shot going into it. And then when I got it, it definitely hurt. Like I remember that, but it was definitely oversold to me. But
Which is perfect.
yeah, I
That's exactly
appreciate
what we want. Yeah.
that was oversold. But the guy who I was helping next to me, the shot was big and he was a little bit skinnier, and they hit his spine or some shit. So like he got fucked up or he got messed up and was on bed rest for a couple days because the shot like hit something it wasn't supposed to hit. So it can be bad. So it was
Yeah. That's why
tale
you
of
have to pack on a little weight, like
yeah. I was thankful to be a little bit chubbier during that period of time. So
there you go. All right. We're gonna jump around with the Badgers.
jump around, Mike.
All right. So we play Rutgers on Thursday. We win 78-66, kind of dominated this game. Obviously, we get a win. We shot really well from 3 point range. We held them pretty low, our defensive side, which I kind of thought maybe this is our issue when I was looking at other games. AJ Store had 19 points. He was 3 from 6 from three. Crowell had 17 with 11 boards. Weaknesses. We didn't shoot great from the free throw line in this game, but got a big win. That I shouldn't say a big win. We got a win that we really should have gotten, right? And in all honesty, if you lose this game, like you could be considered like we're not going to make the NCAA tournament. Like we've played so poorly down this stretch that it's not good unless you come in and beat Purdue. And speaking of Purdue, today we lost 78-70 to Purdue at Purdue, which that's a tough place to go in and play. Playing Zach Edey is definitely a challenge. Badgers were fairly unlucky early. A couple of 3-pointers that were in and out, right? And then Purdue was making threes where they were banking shit, getting bounces off the rim. Anyway, they went into the half down 11. A lot of bad bounces at least from what I could tell from like 3-point range. And then they weren't making anything. At one point, I heard they were 1 for 7 or 8. And then like you can't beat a team like Purdue in the Big Ten when the Big Ten refs are doing it without hitting your threes. You just can't do it. They never ended up getting the game closer than 4 in the second half. Edie runs over Hepburn on the play that Purdue goes back up 7, and nothing is called. Hepburn just standing there. He just like, I don't know, pancake blocks him into the floor. Nothing gets called. So those are the things that kind of I saw as the issue, is that there was a lot of let Edie do kind of what he wants because he's so huge he can't control himself. So we're not going to call fouls on that kind of stuff for some reason, which I don't really get. I also saw that Wall was running down the court and they got like, I don't want to call it tangled up because like Edie was just like leaning on him and it looked really, really goofy. But Badgers couldn't hang with the Boilermakers today. Not making enough of their threes in order to do that. Esijan doesn't even get an opportunity to shoot, right? Like they don't really even bring him into the game now that McGee is back. So anyway, strengths. I think that we've played a lot of top teams in the country really, really well, right? So Purdue, Illinois falls into that category. I'm trying to think if we have another one recently, but those two teams we play really, really well, even away from home. We just can't. We got to figure out how to get wins in those games. Weaknesses. So in the Purdue game, we did not shoot the 3 well. I forget what our percentage was there. 29 maybe.
I think it was
29%.
20 flat.
20
Yeah,
for our
okay.
shooting, and we gave up 50% shooting, 49 point something for the Boilermakers. If we could even fix one of those, we would be significantly better. Significantly better. So 1-1 on the week. Next up, we have the Big Ten tournament. They got the 5 seed, the Big Ten tournament, 6 seed. I think it's the
Yeah.
6 seed in the Big Ten tournament, and they're anticipating the same in the NCAA tournament, about a 6-7 seed currently.
Yeah, so they finished 5th in conference at 11-9. So I assume that means they're the 5 seed in the conference
Yep.
tournament. So I always forget how that bracket works out, but I don't know if the 5th seed in that situation gets a bye. But there's so many teams that I think they might get one bye. But
Well, so the for sure the top teams in the conference get 2 byes for sure.
yeah. Let me see what we got here. We'll try to be quick about this. Oh, it's not gonna be quick, so maybe we can figure that out on the fly. Yeah, my Twitter just
Yeah, so
again.
so I don't know if they will get 1 or 2 byes, but they will definitely get 1. I did see that. And I want to say it's between 3 teams: Maryland, Penn State, and I can't remember offhand what the third one was, but they will get 1 bye for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, so whatever. Hopefully we get, a pretty good showing in the Big Ten tournament. Like you said, I was just looking it up as you were talking, what seed that we're gonna get, and still kind of blows my mind that they're still looking like from 6 to 8 seed. I did see something that said they maybe could get 11, but they would be like the automatic qualifying 11, not the play-in 11
Okay.
seed. So
Yeah.
so it looks like they're solidified pretty solidly in the tournament, which I think most avid Badger fans already knew that. So yeah, that's all I got on the Badgers. But yeah, I have looked piss poor down this stretch. So hopefully playing non-Big Ten teams like earlier in the season, they beat Marquette, they beat Virginia. So they beat some big ones. They did get kind of spanked by Tennessee. I think they lost by 10, like 70-80 or something like that.
Arizona too.
Yeah, so hopefully it just goes better for them. To me, it really feels like one of those seasons where it's an underwhelming Badger team in the Big Ten, and then they some reason can get it to the Sweet 16. Where earlier in the season, it felt like they were overachieving in the Big Ten, and that felt like a season they get bounced in the first or second round.
Yeah.
So this might be better as we've seen Badger basketball down the stretch. So it could make a little bit of a deeper run.
Yeah, and so their next game will be on Thursday, roughly 2:30, 25 minutes after the first game, which starts at 11 or
Okay.
1:30 maybe, right? So I would imagine that the game runs from 11 to 1, right in that range, and then the Badgers pick up the next game 25 minutes after that.
Gotcha. So yeah, we'll be watching to see that. Do you know who it's between, who they play? Did you already say that when I was looking away?
So I saw that it was Maryland. I don't know where everybody falls at. It is between. They play the winner of game 1, which is the 12 and the 13 seed. So pretty bad teams there, but I don't know who those are in the Big Ten currently.
Yeah.
And I think Maryland Penn State is in the
So it's between
that game.
It's between Maryland and Rutgers.
Okay.
And then if they win, they go on to play Northwestern. So that's already set. So the first 4 seeds get 2 byes.
Okay.
So yeah, Badgers got Indiana got the last bye, but yeah, pretty favorable bracket to get back to seeing Purdue, I would say. So might get another shot at Purdue. It's in Minneapolis, so I would assume that the Badger crowd is going to be a little bit bigger there. So maybe seeing Purdue on a neutral court in the Big Ten tournament. Hopefully, if we get there. So Northwestern is a better team than I give them credit for. I just see Northwestern and assume they suck, but they did finish fourth in the Big Ten. So yeah, I would assume they definitely get past either Maryland or Rutgers, whoever comes to see them, and then it's on to Northwestern, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that would be on Friday, and then yeah, they would have to play Saturday and Sunday. Big Ten championship, you'll see us in 2:30 Central Time on Sunday. So hopefully they're there.
Oh, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. All right, you ready to roll into the Bucks?
Yep.
All right, so Fear the Deer time. We're going to be calling this stretch Californication. I just put that together. It took my dumb brain a while to put that together. So they played the Clippers, the Warriors, the Lakers, and then the Clippers again. They go 2-2 in this stretch, and both their wins come against the Clippers. Their first one, I can't remember what day of the week it was, but it was in Milwaukee versus the Clippers. They end up winning 124-117. The big story coming out of this game was Giannis was warming up before this game and couldn't go. So Giannis sits this one out, and all we got for this one, no Giannis, no problem. Dame absolutely goes off in this game, scores 35 points. Shoot, now I'm looking at the wrong box score here. But Dame scored 41 in that game. And let me get the right box score up here. But Milwaukee handles business. I was watching this game, and it is escaping me now because it's been a little bit. But they were down for a while, and then at the end of the game, they end up just pulling away and winning this game pretty handily. I think what happened to me was I was writing the recap for this and something came up. But I just want to get into Dame's numbers real quick. So he was 4-9 from 3, 12-22 from the floor, 41 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Our next man up, Bobby Portis, has been balling lately, so he's been playing some pretty good basketball. He had 28 points off the bench in this game. And then the Bucks just shot well from 3. They shoot 39.5% from 3, 85.7% from the line, and 47% from the field. Which the Clippers shot pretty well too. They actually outshot them from 3, 16 of 40, shooting 40% from 3. But they did not capitalize on the line as well as the Bucks. Bucks end up getting 24 points on the line. Clippers end up getting 16 points from that. But Paul George and James Harden both had good games, both scoring 29 points. That'll be my weakest recap that I got because that one, not remembering that good. So then we move on. We go to the Warriors, and the Warriors were just absolutely humming in this game, and the Bucks get absolutely floored front to back. They were down 20 points at halftime. They did have a nice little run in the third quarter where they ended up cutting the lead to about 6, but it was pretty short lived. What do I got here? Golden State was a well-oiled machine, and we're moving the ball around like wizards. They had 37 assists to the Bucks, 19 assists in this one. So for strengths in this one, I also have Bobby Portis was playing some good ball in that game. He had another good game, so it's looking like him coming off the bench is going to be a good answer to what we have in our weakness. But yeah, it's basically him and Pat Beverly coming off the bench that are giving us anything. Weaknesses, we shot like shit from 3, so shot 28% from 3 in this game, and they absolutely killed us from 3 in this game, where they shot 49%. I don't know if you've seen, I think the big story that came out of this game, the funny story that was the Steph hit a big 3 late and when they were going away, and then they got a picture of him like doing like a golf club shot, and then there was a lady in the background cheering, and there was a dad in front of her that was just staring at her cans with his 2
Oh yeah, I mean, so she had ginormous cans, so like that's probably why. I
But
did
yeah,
see that story, and then I didn't like the first picture I seen didn't have either of them in it, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on here, and so then I had to like search around to find
yeah.
what the fuck was going on.
And then you had to stare at it for about 40 minutes before you before you
40,
realize.
40 seems excessive. I mean, is what it is. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I did go looking for that a little bit. So
Yeah, no, pretty funny. NBA ends up cropping the lady in the picture out of the picture because I think it was causing too much of a commotion. But it was pretty funny. I heard some funny shit about it.
but like, wouldn't you if you're a marketing team for the NBA or for the Warriors, isn't that what you want? Is like this shit to go crazy?
Yeah, I don't fully get cutting her out of it. The one thing I've heard from it, and I've just heard this from a podcast. I did no follow up. Didn't want this shit on my computer. But I'm pretty sure the lady is a lady of the night. Might be an escort service. I don't.
Okay.
So I think there was something to do with that, and she ended up like capitalizing and going public or something from it, and
Nice.
and I'm sure she's making some good money after that. after that picture hit the street. But yeah, it was more funny to me the people bringing up, like, say you brought your two sons to the game, and like you get home, your wife's like, "Oh, how was the game, honey?" And you're like, "Oh, it was a good game." And the
Then the
picture
picture
from
comes out that I'm staring at some other fucking chick's tits. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, hey,
could be a
I would, yeah, that would be a good fight, I'm sure, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? I tried not to, dear. What do you want me to do?
she was being loud. I was telling her to shut up. So
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, but
You know, it just looks like I'm staring at her tits. It wasn't that, right?
yeah, the scoreboard was behind me. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, so that was pretty funny. But on to the next California team. So then the Bucks go to play the Lakers. This was a pretty good game, back and forth for the most part. Honestly, it looked like the Bucks took this one over in the fourth, and they had a 6 point lead going with a minute and change left, and they were playing pretty well. Like it was anytime the Lakers hit a shot, they hit a shot back. But yeah, the last two or three possessions, they just pissed down their leg. Lakers capitalize, steal this one late. Bucks do have a shot to they have the last shot to take a lead back. Dame ends up getting blocked. Pretty piss poor effort there. Like we didn't even get a shot up. Like nothing to even hit the rim, or like no real hope on it. But yeah, our strengths in this game, Giannis as always. He had 34 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists. Weaknesses, yeah, the last few possessions didn't really clutch up on this one. Lost to a Lakers team that LeBron James wasn't even playing, and we let D'Angelo Russell go off for 44 points. Bad 3-point defense in this one, allowing the Lakers to shoot 47% from three. So they went 16 of 34 from three, and Bucks lose a game that they ultimately should have won. I think we said in last week's episode that the Warriors and the Lakers have been hot lately. So dropping these two games, being the realistic guy that I am, I don't think that it's such a huge deal, but definitely hurt a little bit more versus the Lakers in a game that it felt like the Bucks had, and they just pissed it away. But that's all I got on that one. Then we had the game today, Bucks at Clippers. Bucks win this one 124 to 117. Really good game today, back and forth through first three quarters. Then the Bucks when the Bucks needed to step up, everybody on the team seemed to clutch up. So Brook Lopez hits a big three, super deep. Bobby Portis hits like two shots like from the top of the key. Dame hits a couple 6 shots late, and I want to say Giannis even does too, but it was especially Dame. Dame hits 3 big threes late down the stretch in the game. Biggest strength in this one, though, Malik Beasley has not been shooting the ball well. And when we were rolling, he was kind of our 3-point guy. And I think that's what he's going to be, especially until Chris Middleton gets back in the rotation. So he was 4 of 9 today. So that was good to see that it wasn't just like a fluke that he was hitting these threes, or maybe this one is a fluke, but hopefully he can keep doing what he's doing. Giannis, once again, was an absolute monster today, 34 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. And Dame was a game changer and just doing what we brought him there to do. So closing out this game, but he ends up with 35 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. Only weakness I got in this one, Bucks played a real good game. Bench only scored 24 points. And I don't know if that is like super duper of a weakness, because those 24 points were what put the Bucks over the hump. But it does just feel very shallow on the bench. So only 2, oh no, that's a Laker game. Back to this one. But yeah, so I guess they got a little bit from a few different people, but Portis had 11, Beverly had 5, Connaughton had 5, and Gallinari had 3. So it does feel like we do not have that much depth, especially I guess once Chris Middleton comes back, it's a little bit more. Then it feels like we more have 3 guys on the bench that can do some damage for us. But right now, pretty shallow on that bench. I think we're going to be calling this episode Californication, but in a California road trip, all said and done, going 1 and 2 versus 2, 3. Well, I mean, 3 decent teams. Well, yeah, they went 2 and 2, but one of those was in Milwaukee.
The Clippers might be the best record out of all those teams.
Yeah, I think you're right. I had it on the old sheet, but yeah. So going 2 and 2 since our last episode, not all that bad. We do play. What day is it today in number wise? It's the 10th. So we play the Kings.
In number wise,
yeah. So we play the Kings Tuesday the 12th. Then we got the 76ers at home on the 14th. And then, yeah, I should have wrote these down of what exact days they are, but 76ers.
So that's Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Tuesday, then Thursday, 76ers. And then St. Patrick's Day, that will be Saturday. Sunday is on the 17th there. So versus the Sun. So we do have 3 formidable opponents coming up. So the Bucks schedule isn't getting much easier. I feel like from what I've been watching, they're playing pretty dang good basketball and have answered a lot of those questions that we had going in to the All-Star break. But we'll see after this stretch. I think it'll be another 3 good games to get a better handle on where these are going from. And I'm not for sure what Middleton's prognosis is now. I felt like I did know it, and now I don't know how long Chris is out for. Yeah, like a lot of things, but
yeah. So I think the Bucks are kind of in the catbird seat in the East, right? So they're doing just fine. You stay inside that 4 seed, and there's going to be really no issues as long as you don't have to fall into the play-in games.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to be good. Right here, first article I pull up says Chris Middleton is nearing a return. So hopefully we get him back in the next month or so, and we are
have
good to go.
like 20-ish games left. What's our
Yeah,
record? 42 and 23.
yeah. You're asking me the ones I didn't write down today, but so 42 and 23. Yep, you were 100%.
Yeah, so we're
right.
at 65 games, 17 games to go. So
yeah, get Chris back in this lineup. I think we have a pretty good shot to make a good run, and I think there's no reason the Bucks can't win championship this year. So should be fun.
Yeah. So the only reason would be like that things don't click when we get to the playoffs. Things aren't clicking quite the same way that they always should be. I think in reality we can win a championship with Giannis and Middleton with some defensive help, right? And so with Giannis and Lillard, if we can get that defensive help, we should be there. But without Chris, it could be sketchy.
Yeah, and I mean Boston is really damn good this year, so that's gonna be a tough one to get by.
They got no chance.
It does feel like the Doc Rivers hate is starting to subside, and you're hearing stuff like he's putting more plays in, getting Dame more involved in the game. Which, if you've been watching, you can kind of see Dame's been more of a focus point, I guess, a vocal point in our game plan. So that's been good. And like I said, we got the 2-man game that we've been sandbagging between Giannis and Dame that we're going to be able to break out in the playoffs. But yeah, Boston is still playing great. I think we've answered the questions like if this team's clicking, which they have been lately. Yeah, they got a puncher's chance in any series they get into. So good stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no team in the league that they can't beat. It's beating them consistently that will be the issue.
Yeah, but yeah, that is all I have for the Bucks this episode. Our next episode is going to be kind of a Brewers special, so I think
preview.
Yeah, Brewers preview going to be a very Brewers heavy, so we're not going to touch any of the Brewers spring training stuff. This one, we got a special guest coming on that is going to do some Brewers stuff for us, and yeah, so we've had 2 guys do that. So, but anyways, both of the guys that we have had on have been very knowledgeable. So this guy was super great the last time we had. That's our tease.
Show up.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yep. So go out, listen to us. But do you got anything else you want to add to this one?
No, I got nothing. So I'm going to say, if you're down the Brewers, the Badgers, the Bucks, or the Packers, you can eat our shorts.
Thank you for the support. Like, share, subscribe. We love you.
All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't need my shows. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shows. Beat them. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shows. Eat my shows.